Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. It is week 3. It is game 3. We are well into the throes, and after Friday night, we will be a third of the way through the season. I know that sounds crazy, but you only have 10 football games. Happens really fast. We go, August, September, October, and then move into the playoffs in November, and hopefully you live long enough to get to the first week of December. But right now we've got a coach on the phone. He's from Helena, Alabama, and the Helena Huskies are currently 2-0. And I've got on the phone with me the head coach of the Huskies, head coach Richie Busby. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm good, Stuart. Good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you. And I take it you are well and going to be able to roll Friday night?
Yep. Finally had a quarantine. Not quarantine. I actually had it. But been feeling better since probably Saturday morning, and hopefully continue that. And I'm just looking forward to getting to coach Friday night. We've had a good week of practice, and you don't realize how much you miss until you have to be away a week. It seemed like a month.
You turned the helm over to your assistant coaches. They went against Chelsea. You won 27-14. Take me through the game. Take me through your angle, your assistant coach's angle, and just how did the Helena Huskies beat Chelsea?
Well, first of all, I want to say, my coaches did a great job, and the players, dealing with adversity. And not only myself, we had 3 coaches out Friday night. We had several players, and, I'm blessed to have 3 coaches on my staff that have been head coaches for numbers of years. So there's 4 head coaches in that building on a given day. And, I didn't have to worry about whether they'd be prepared or not. I was just, with the quarantining and the guys that we've had that are positive, it's just, it's tough to put together, a game plan because every day you may get another 1 or 2 pulled from you. So I'm really pleased with what they did. Our kids played great. We went up 20-0. Got the ball out of the second half, and we go out there and get a holding call on the kickoff return, and we had a little bit of a miscommunication between the sideline and our quarterback, and we run an RPO, and he throws a pick six with about 10 seconds gone in the second half, and gave them all the momentum, and it was pretty much a battle from there. And in the late in the third, early in the fourth, our quarterback made a really good throw, and we scored again and kind of slowed down their momentum. But, Buddy, coming out of halftime when they scored to make it 20-7, all the momentum was on their side. I could even tell that from the TV at my house.
Well, and that's when time is going by real slow, and at times you're begging it to go fast, and then at times you're trying to control the clock with your emotions, and it's hard to do, isn't it, Coach?
Well, I made some phone calls at halftime, talked to all our staff, and I was like, look, our defense is playing really well. I think they held them under 110 yards total offense all night. I was like, look, just protect the ball and play the clock. And like I said, there was a miscommunication from the sideline to our quarterback. We ran an RPO. It was supposed to be locked where he couldn't throw it, and he didn't get it. And, unfortunately, we survived that miscue. But, it made a game that, might have not been so, on the edge of your seat type deal the rest of the way. But, once again, our kids overcame adversity, and, it's a good thing to be put in that position early in the season to kind of see how your guys are going to react to it. You don't want to self-inflict it, but nonetheless, we were able to fight through it.
It's been a carousel of positions, Coach, as you try to find the right people to put into place. I'm sure you're going through that. Rutherford County's going through that. It's even affected some teams, knocked them completely out of competing this week. But the COVID is it's moving, and it's moving even, I'm sure, through your ball club.
It is, and, it's just weird. For 2 years, we've made it all through the summer, being on top of one another in the weight room. And, last year it hit us at the same time, 1 week later, and we had as many as 44 guys out last year with either a positive test or a contact tracing. We had 15 not dressed Friday night, and we probably got up in the 25, 30 range this week of being out of practice. And, the hardest thing is, you'll practice, we practice in the morning, so you get through a practice, and a couple hours later you get a call from the nurse that so-and-so's been sent home, and then you got to scramble and try to find another right tackle, right guard, or whatever it may be. Special teams are a disaster. So you're literally up until kickoff. You don't know who may get a call and say they can't play. And so it is definitely a juggling act. And, I hope one day we don't have to deal with it again. But it puts a lot of emphasis on organization and depth charts and that kind of stuff that you've got to constantly be tweaking to be ready.
What's one of the kids' names that just jumps out that's been a universal kid that's just jumped in and played any position? Can you share a kid's name that's just, he's played everything, Stork? He's just a football player.
Yeah, we've got a couple. I mean, we've got one of our little young safeties, a sophomore, Hunter Hale. He can play several different places. Broke his wrist in week 1, so now he's kind of, locked in over on the defensive side just because he's got a cast on. But he had a pick the other night. And, Cason Bustamento is a kid that plays running back for us, slot receiver, plays safety, returns kicks. Another guy on our defense that's very valuable that has done a lot of things for us in his career is Connor Pugh. Can play DN, play outside linebackers, even played safety for us. And you say, well, how's a kid play safety and DN? Well, he's just one of those 195-pound high school football players that no matter where you put him, he's going to get the job done. So we've got several of those, that we can move around and do things with. Very fortunate. And I'm sure there's others that we could play positions, but, we hadn't had to do that yet. But those guys are three that can do those type things.
You're headed into Friday night. You got Wetumpka on the schedule. They're 1-1. Coach Tim Perry, talk to us a little bit about the Indians and what you're up against.
Well, they're so athletic. They've played 7A Prattville, who in our state has had a strong tradition in the past, and they've played a Tallahassee program that is a really tough, hard-nosed program. They've played two really, really tough games, physical. Wetumpka, when you turn on the film, they look the same every year you turn them on. Big, physical, and fast. Big in all the right places. Got a couple D linemen that we're really going to have to do a good job on. And like I told you before the show, we've had as many as 3 starting linemen out this week. So that's going to be a challenge for us. And, tackling well and fitting well together on defense is going to be key because they got some guys that can really hurt you if they crease you on your defense. So we got to do a good job of surrounding the football and getting multiple people there and do a good job tackling and hold on and get them on the ground. But they're good in all 3 phases. So, they beat us last year 28-22. We had a late drive and got stopped at the 8-yard line after being down 28-3. So it'll be a challenge, and it's our first region game. This is region week for us. So the stakes are a little higher.
Well, Coach, we enjoy having you on the show. I hope your team kind of gets a little bit ironed out here because we always say long about Game 5, you're going to figure out what you have. And I don't think that's going to be possible because you may not have your full what you really, really wanted until about Game 6 or 7, and I'm saying in a precision movement. But it may be a late gathering, and do you feel like that's what it's going to be for you and the Helena Huskies?
Well, you hope so. The one thing this forces you to do is build a little depth because you may play kids, out of that you have to play that maybe are not ready yet in your mind. But it does build a little depth, so when you do get a full roster back, if we're fortunate enough to be able to do that, I feel like it'll benefit us in the long run, and I think a lot of coaches would say the same. But you just don't ever know. I hope the worst is behind us. Our school system is mandated masks now, which should slow the quarantining process down. But, this stuff, I don't think normal is not a word you use anymore. So we just got to go with the flow, and that's why they call us coaches. And we'll put our best 22 that are available on the field, and I know our kids will play hard.
Well, Coach, good luck Friday night. Stay safe, and as always, go Huskies.
That's right. Go Huskies, Store. Y'all have a good weekend.
Take care.